The Wally Show podcast is our daily radio show heard live through the WayFM app each morning and hosted by Wally, Gavin, and me, Betty Rock. For more fun, be sure to connect with us at wayfm.com/Wally.
The Wally Show podcast is brought to you by Colorado Christian University Online, where you can earn a degree online just like Betty Rock. You can learn more at ccu.edu/Wally.
Who's that wonderful girl? Could she be any cuter?
Well, she could be a bit nicer. It's News-ish with Betty Rock on The Wally Show.
Hilarious. Which is a great intro, because I was going to say that I don't get fired up about a lot of things, but when it comes to food, don't get between me and food.
Scary.
I've seen it.
We all have some hot takes, as in strong opinions about food-related things, and people are sharing theirs online. I found a few, and I want to see if we agree on them or not. The first person said, ants on a log. Whoever came up with ants on a log, which is like putting peanut butter on celery with raisins, they should be shunned.
Yeah.
And I agree. It's trying to trick kids into eating healthy, but it's just not good.
Yeah, 100%. It never worked for me.
Celery is terrible.
There's nothing you can do to celery to make it taste better. Even like when I go to a place, this is how much I hate celery. If I go to like Subway and I'm getting a tuna fish sandwich, for some reason, somewhere along the line, somebody said, hey, let's put celery in tuna. Let's mask it. Let's make an already stinky thing more stinky. And I always ask, does your tuna have celery? I ask it everywhere I go if I order tuna, because it completely ruins it. Wow. It's kind of like how a pepper ruins the taste of everything.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah. Like a green pepper ruins everything it touches.
Obviously, Wally has strong opinions
Hot
as well.
take.
Boxed mac and cheese is better than sit down like at a nice restaurant type mac and cheese.
Certainly more nostalgic when you open like a box of Kraft and pour it in with that cheese powder.
Or the Velveeta. I like Velveeta
yeah.
too, but then you go to places like, let's say Panera.
Yeah.
And they have like the creamy mac and cheese. It's just not as good. I think I'd pick the Kraft over that.
And I think a lot of places use the Velveeta type ones that are like supposedly more creamy. Nobody out there is using Kraft. Kraft is the best.
It is.
It is so good.
Powdered cheese.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Don't look at it. Like just like when it shows up in front of you, like that's amazing.
This is one that will light a fire under Gavin. Someone
really?
said, boring, less sugar cereals are the best. They
Less sugar is better?
Yeah,
Oh,
like the
no.
Chex,
no.
Cheerios.
No, the problem with
the
those
wheat
is even when I
thins or
eat
whatever
those,
they're called.
I still
honey
pour
wheat.
sugar on them.
Yeah, you
so-
have to. Like if I have Rice Krispies, I pour like a gallon of sugar on my Rice Krispies.
Yeah.
Just to make it palatable. Raisin Bran, I coat that in sugar. Well, anything. Fruit Loops. I put sugar on Fruit Loops.
That has enough sugar in it.
Not really. You need a little extra. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show, and Gavin and Betty were recently talking about how Gavin is the reason that this app probably exists.
Yes, it's called Rocket Money. It's a branch of the company Rocket Mortgage, and in essence, it helps you keep track of your subscriptions, keep track of your bills, all these things. I always see ads for it where people are like, "Oh, I only pay for this and this," and they're like, "Actually, no, you pay for all these things."
I've seen those things too. I'm like, how do you not know what you're paying for? It's
I
crazy.
thought the same thing.
I know, and then it happened to me too. So
And I thought that too.
Yeah.
Until recently, I was like, okay, I'm going to start going back to the gym. I'm going to go to Planet Fitness, sign up for a membership. I walk in, and before I walk in, I was looking at my bank account, and I saw a withdrawal from Planet Fitness on my account.
they're like, man, they're good.
I was like, man, ahead of the game. But it did get me thinking. I'm like, oh, what's going on with that? And I go in. I said, hey, I think I canceled a subscription here 2-3 years ago. He's like, no, you didn't.
Oh.
And so, and I just, it's $10 a month.
And you've been paying for 2 to 3
For
years?
2 to 3 years, I've just had $10
That adds
a month.
up.
Have you been going?
No.
See, at least I did you the favor and asked you that.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, I'm like, I'm the reason why you see all of those ads. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And so, well, yeah, I'm like, I'm the reason why something like Rocket Money was invented,
I get
because
it.
I am the guy
get
who
it.
doesn't know what he's just paying for.
I found out, like, I had gotten a couple domain names parked, like one for my mom and one for my brother and something else, and I had parked them, and I was paying, like, and it was this low monthly thing, and then nothing was ever done with them. And I looked at them like a couple years later, and then I had paid over $300 a year for each of them.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, what just happened?
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Wow is right. So I could have benefited from this as well. So let's do this. 855-33-WAY-FM. I'm the reason blank was invented. For Gavin, it's I'm the reason that rocket money was invented. For you, what is that? It could be anything that you have going on in your life. I'm the reason that blank was invented because you kind of messed something up. 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. So what is yours?
Mine is the reason why new cars have that lane notification. So when you start to deviate out of your lane, it kind of vibrates and lets you know you need to get back in line.
Are you a drifter?
That's me. I take up all the road.
Oh,
Jennifer, what are you doing that's taking your mind off the road?
Singing to Way FM.
oh yeah. No. Do not bring us into this.
It's not our responsibility.
She gets in a car wreck and she's on the stand. Do you promise to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes, I do. Way FM caused this. So what's yours?
They created warning labels on commercials because of me. Do you remember the commercial back from the 80s where they would ride the bikes down the stairs a lot? And that was in a lot of our commercials back then.
Yeah, because it is kind of fun. You know, the bike's like bouncing. So did you do that as a kid?
I tried it. It doesn't work as well as it does on TV.
Oh, really?
Now, Trisha, you might find this humorous. I found it scary. At one point, Wally was going through a midlife crisis when he turned around 50, and he bought himself a bike, and he decided it was a good idea to go down the stairs here at the station. And at one point, our old producer, Zach, his little girl, Anna, she was maybe 4 years old. Even she knew this wasn't smart.
It's a bad idea.
Thankfully, it took a 4-year-old to speak the truth, and he did listen.
I didn't make it that day, but then I was so disappointed in myself, and I manned up, and I did it another day and pulled it off flawlessly.
You don't say man up. You don't have to prove yourself.
All right, I'm sorry. I Trisha'd up, and I knocked it out.
Hey, Wally, do you have a minute?
Sorry, busy.
I have cake.
Oh, what do you need?
Yeah, see, that's a perfect example of even though we are busy, we make time for what's important.
Yeah, because going back to school as an adult, you're busy with work, you've got family, but if you want to make your education a priority, trust me, you can do it. Betty did.
Like when I first started, I was super intimidated because it had been a while since I've been in school. But I mean, from the very first conversation, I felt like they were setting me up for success.
Yeah, and going back to school with CCU's flexible online courses makes it so convenient.
Yeah, and what's so cool is every class has a biblical worldview perspective. And so you think, well, how can they turn math into a biblical worldview? They find a way.
Yeah, and that was one of my jobs when I was teaching at CCU, was integrating not just the facts and figures of things, but how your faith plays into what you're going to do.
CCU offers Christ-centered higher education, transforming students to impact the world with grace and truth.
Cultivate your mind without compromising your heart. Get started today at online.ccu.edu. Colorado Christian University is a non-profit impact partner.
Do you want the good news or
I've got good news
the bad news?
and good news.
Well, looks like good news it is. It's news-ish on The Wally Show.
Well, amid the devastation caused by the wildfires in L.A., there's a family from Altadena that is celebrating some good news. The San Dimas Sheriff Station, oh, and side note, if you recognize the name San Dimas, you probably saw Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure back in the day.
Things are more moderner than before. Bigger, and yet smaller. It's computers. San Dimas High School football room!
It's like, I'm like, oh my goodness. It's so funny when you get to use something from years and years and years ago, because it came up and it just triggered me. I'm like, oh my goodness, San Dimas, come on now. Well, the good news for this family in San Dimas is that their 100-pound tortoise named Rocky was found alive and well after the fires.
Rocky, bless him.
They weren't able to get him out. I guess they had to go quickly, or maybe they couldn't catch him. Rocky's really fast. And so Rocky may not be fast enough to outrun a fire, but he was smart enough to survive it. He hid in a hole in the family's backyard, and that helped him make it out alive. The fire actually claimed the family's home. Like, it's gone.
Oh, wow.
And so the fact that he survived this is crazy. So they are so happy to have Rocky back despite all that they've lost. And the devastation, though, from this fire is going to be felt for years. And it's not in the news cycle as much anymore, and so it kind of gets forgotten, but people are still hurting. And I just wanted to give you an update on our partnership with Convoy of Hope, because we talked about that and said, hey, they do great work following disasters, and you can help out and help fund some of the work that they do. We had like 40 people who listen to WayFM. They gave $8,000. Which is kind of crazy. It's like $200 average each of people giving. I mean, how cool is that? Mm-hmm. So to date, 72 semis have delivered 733,000 pounds of supplies to over 38,000 people in 12 communities. I know it's a lot of numbers, but it's a lot of people that are being helped because some people heard a need and chose to be good and live out their faith and do a little good and help support it. And so I just love that. The need is still there. They're still doing the work on the ground. If you want to help out, just text the word convoy, CONVOY, to 91979, and you can send a link and help out people like Rocky's parents.
So what is TikTok and how do you use it?
Uplifting WayFM, this is The Wally Show, and I'm kind of glad TikTok didn't go away because I find really great things on there that have spiritual implications, and one is this TikTok preacher, Kelly K. He was talking about being on a flight one day where all he wanted to do was work on his sermon and get home without being bothered, but God had different plans for Kelly that day.
I sit down, and the lady next to me won't stop talking. Now, at first, I'm like, hey, I got stuff to do. I put on my headphones. You're talking to me anyway. Like, you're missing the signs here. I'm not here to hang out. I'm here to work. Then I remembered so many times, God wants to use us. He wants to use us to be a blessing to someone else, to meet a need in their life, to bring encouragement, to uplift them. I said, all right, God, if this is you, let's see. I just started a conversation with her. By the end of the flight, 2-hour flight, she is bawling. God showed up and met a huge need in her life. What God asked us to do is to be the hands and feet of Jesus everywhere we go. You see, the Bible says that we need to die to ourselves daily. See, dead people do not worry about their needs. There's not one person in the cemetery right now that's worried about anything. God asked us to do the same thing. Die to yourself instead. Go meet a need in someone else's life. If you will do that, if you will let go of your life and go grab hold of a need in someone else's, that's when God can send someone to you. You see, the truth is, when I got done speaking with that lady on the airplane, I know that God did more ministering to me than I did to her.
I love that. And I've seen that play out before in my life where I thought I was doing something really good for somebody else. I'm feeling pretty good about myself or whatever for taking the action and stuff. But then it's like God shows you something completely different and it blesses you in a way that you weren't even expecting, you know? And so that's what we want to talk about with you right now. What was the time that you thought you were helping somebody? You know, you're pitching in, volunteering, doing whatever, helping a stranger, whatever. And you're like, man, this is going to be good. I'm going to help this person. I'm really about this. But then in the end, you found out that it was something that helped you and that there was something in it that God gave you as well that changed your heart. 855-33-WayFM is the number. That's 855-33-WayFM. Would love to hear your story on this too, because it might inspire somebody else too to, you know, maybe take the headphones off on a plane and engage with somebody when that's the last thing that you want to do. 855-33-WayFM. So, Emily, what was a time that you thought you were helping somebody, but it ended up helping you?
I was going through a time when I doubted that God was working, and I was going through the motions, but I wasn't seeing anything. So one day I was driving to church, checking it off my list, and there was a man in the road having a seizure, and everybody else was just swerving around him, letting him stay there. I had my son with me. We stopped. We're running late, but we stopped. We helped him. We called the ambulance. Got him out of the road. When I got back in my car, and I know I had to be at least 30 minutes later, it had been 5 minutes, and I made it to church with plenty of time to spare with this feeling like God's still working miracles, even small ones like making time stop, and it just opened my eyes in a way that I never thought they could be.
Yeah, you think that it takes this big commitment of time to make a difference, but sometimes that's not the case at all. Like for yours, it was 5 minutes, but it made a difference in this person and in you. You know what? You're an amateur first responder. That's impressive because I am too.
Sometimes.
We need to have cards or badges. Badges. We need to make Wally Show amateur first responder badges.
No, we do not.
Yep, I think that's what we're going to do. Because Emily would definitely get one. I went to North Carolina, following Hurricane Helene, and I was helping my buddy who runs Shower Up provide showers for people because they had no water, and then we were doing laundry. And I remember wanting to be like a first responder because we were doing their laundry, and I'm like, oh man, I wish I was a first responder, not someone that's trapped in a laundry trailer all day doing laundry for people. And we met this one lady who, was so kind, and she was like, just thank you for taking the time to do this. And so I'm like, yeah, it's not a problem. We love this. It's fun. It's good for us. We love to help out. But she's like, you have no idea, because now this is so important because we will have clean clothes to wear at all the funerals. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks, because I was like, here I was thinking that, okay, I'm helping, but then I thought it was less than, and I didn't see the way that God used the simple. And the thing that you thought was nothing, meant something to somebody, which was like really cool. And so that's why I think that getting involved and volunteering somehow, some way with something can make a huge difference, not only in the people that you're helping, but in your life as well.
Yeah, Austin shared it on a Facebook page. He said, I helped this chick move one time in 2005. It turns out she's my wife now, and we have 2 kids.
Wow, that worked out for him. Look, he didn't expect that. He was just, I'm going to help out, and then it paid off.
Yeah, usually when you help someone move, you get a pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
But he got a wife.
He got a lifetime of pizza. You know what, Rock? This made me think you should do this. You should get 2 apartments. Like, you have one, get another apartment, and just move back and forth between the 2 and ask random people to help you move. You might find the husband that way.
That's a terrible idea.
I don't know, man. It worked for him, so it's worth looking into. Uplifting Way FM, this is The Wally Show, and we have a women's event coming up, and I have to stress the word women's event because I've not been invited, I'm not allowed anywhere near it, and I'm not 100% sure why.
You're not a woman.
I'm as close as you get.
That's true.
I love Project Runway. I could sit around and talk with you ladies all day long about different lady things. I've been around women my whole life. I'd be good at it.
That is true.
And provide a man's perspective. But no, they won't let me go.
Well, sadly, that won't be the case. But the good news is, like Wally said, Way FM is having our first women's event called Reclaim. Now, guest speakers include me, Betty Rock.
Love that.
Joy Summers and Becca, who also do shows on Way FM. And then we've got Tasha Layton doing worship with us.
Super love that. She's amazing.
She's fantastic. We're just going to talk about things that we want to reclaim in our lives. There are times where you feel like your faith is waning, and mainly it could be because you're listening to the lies that the enemy is telling you. But we are going to come together and encourage one another and talk about the things that we're going to reclaim.
Preach. I could do that too.
It's happening March 29th. If you would like to attend, grab a friend. We would love to have you there. Text the word reclaim to 91979. We'll send you a link so you can grab your tickets now. That's reclaim to 91979.
Got an email I'd like to share with you from Ruth, who emailed yesterday. Hey, Wally, I have a question regarding the upcoming Reclaim conference. I understand it's a women's conference. I get it. No offense to Betty. However, it would have been awesome to include you on the roster by adding a 30-minute Christian comedy segment. Yes! See, Ruth is like, hey, Wally, I want you there and I want you to be funny. A little laughter would be a welcome addition to the conference.
Wait a minute.
I was surprised when you announced that you were not going to be there. Ruth wants me there.
Okay, when she says comedy stand-up, does she remember the time that you did stand-up?
It was a train wreck.
Bombed.
I learned a lot from it. But I would be in a room that wasn't, like, I was in a room with you and a couple other people that wanted me to fail. I would be in a more friendly room where the ladies, and I could talk lady stuff, like, and it could be really funny. You know what?
A little awkward.
Yeah, I think it could be different. So I'll work on it, and I'll let you know if I'm going to be at the Reclaim event or not. But until then...
It's a women's event. I cannot specify that enough. There's no need for you to be there. I appreciate you wanting to be there, but no.
All right. Well, if you want to get tickets to the Women's and Wally event, we should call it that.
No.
Text Reclaim to 91979.
Who's excited to find out what's going on today?
It's that woo-woo.
It's news-ish on The Wally Show.
What you got, Gavin?
A few years ago, Applebee's returned to relevance thanks to Walker Hayes' big TikTok blow-up song, Fancy Like.
Yeah, we fancy like Applebee's on a date night. Got that Bourbon Street steak with the Oreo shake.
It made me want to go back to Applebee's, and I hadn't been in years.
Exactly. And now, another restaurant kind of has TikTok to thanks for its, again, ascension and return to relevancy. And it's basically the same restaurant, Chili's.
Yeah, different name.
Different name, different. I don't even. I for like the longest time I thought they were the same thing. But people are saying, or Chili's is saying that they are, thanking their comeback thanks to an upgraded French fry recipe, fast food like deals, and viral TikTok videos of customers pulling apart its gooey mozzarella sticks.
Really?
They said that they had their last quarter had like a 31% increase in sales, 20% foot traffic increase, and they're not saying that they're having success due to them raising their prices. It's just more people are coming into the door. They think that because you have this younger generation that's seeing Chili's on TikTok, they used to associate Chili's with, oh, that's my parents' restaurant, or the parents' restaurant. Now I want to go to.
Huh? My wife gets the mozzarella sticks there all the time. That's like what she gets from Chili's. I get the chicken crispers. But I too suffered from. I went to Chili's a lot years ago, and then I just got out of the habit. And we have a new one near us now, and so maybe I'll go again.
One of their big things too is also their triple dipper
platter,
which is just like you get mozzarella sticks, Southwest egg rolls, and chicken wings.
Okay. You can pick up from a lot of sides. So if you wanted to do like appetizers, you pick 3 appetizers, and that all comes together, and they call it a triple dipper. And a lot of people are making TikTok videos about this.
It's so weird, man. Like I see so many TikTok videos because I spend way too much time on TikTok. I haven't seen any of these yet, but I got like dumped with the Applebee's Walker Hayes stuff, and I loved it, but I haven't seen any of these. But here's the weird thing. We're talking about it. My phone is out, and it's open. I guarantee you today, and if your phone is near you and it's open right now, today you will get blown up with Chili's Triple Dipper videos if you're on TikTok. I promise you.
I hope that Wade Hayes catches up. Not Wade Hayes.
Walker Hayes.
Walker Hayes.
Yeah.
That's another country artist. Walker Hayes, that he gets the memo and he creates a new Chili's song because that's his ammo.
Absolutely. Yeah,
so
that'd be
we'll
good.
See.
Why are we wasting our time with these old people anyway?
Did you just call me old?
Uplifting Away FM. This is the Wally Show. You have a chance to win a prize right now. We're going to play a game called Famous Ages, okay? This is where we put up different celebrities or well-known personalities. We try to guess their ages, and then when it's revealed, you then write that down and add all the actual ages of people up. And if you get it right at the end, you can win a prize. Betty Rock likes to make me go first because she says that I pick multiple people. So I will go first, and I will go with one that I'm very excited about. I'm going to go with right-wing political commentator Matt Walsh. You guys all know him. You guys have seen him. You've seen movies from him. Betty Rock, I know you've listened to him. So how old is Matt Walsh?
All right. Gavin.
Oh, I know. I don't think he's that much older. Are you looking it up right now, Wally?
Yeah, because I wrote it down because I was so impressed by it, and then I forgot to write down the age.
Wow. All right.
Man. Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to say 36.
Ooh. I went with 39.
And I hate you both because...
In the middle?
Pretty much. Like, I thought you guys would think he was mid-40s because he seemed mid-40s to me. He's 38.
Wow.
Nuts.
Oh, okay. Well, we're both we bookended it.
Yeah, you both are in good shape. Betty, you're at 2. Gavin, you're at 1. Golf scores are where you want to be. For us, low score, but you need to write down 38. Nuts. Did you guys get that from his looks? Or
No, I think I looked it up once because I'm always curious about people's ages, so I always look it up. Sorry.
Nuts.
I knew that he was around my age.
I really thought that you'd be like, there's no way he's my age. He's so smart.
You felt so good about that, too.
I really did. All right, well, mine was kind of a bust. So we got Gavin's and Betty's coming up, so make sure you hang out. Make sure you listen for the ages when they're revealed, and you add them together, you can win a prize, and we'll do round 2 here in 10 on The Wally Show. Betty Rock, let's go to you next.
All right, I'm going with actress Tippi Hedren.
Oh, okay.
Don't say too much.
What was she in?
She was in The Birds. That's how I know her. Alfred Hitchcock's movie, The Birds.
Yeah, okay.
She's also related to Melanie Griffith and Dakota Johnson.
Yeah, okay.
So
you always pick old people.
Yeah, she does.
But is she old?
I don't know.
Tippi Hedren.
Tippi is an old name.
Okay, let me get my guess
I've got
down.
my number.
I'm going to write mine
head.
down before Gavin goes. Okay. I'm going to change it. Okay, go. Gavin.
Okay, I'm going to go 86.
I went 93.
Okay. One of you is only 2 years off.
It's gonna be
I
Wally.
went 91 at first. Please tell me she's not 91.
Probably
Go.
95.
Tippy Hedren
Yeah.
is a whopping 95.
Oh, I was close.
Yes.
Okay.
So far.
All right, I'm back in this. Okay,
Bummer.
so Betty and Wally are tied. Gavin's almost out of this thing, but
Yeah.
you can't get any more points
I know.
against you because it's your turn to go. So Betty Rock and I, if you stump us, you're going to win this thing.
I know. I don't think you're going to go, because I need you guys
You
to
need
go
to-
higher than
8, yeah.
So I don't think you're going to be far enough off on this, unless you are, hopefully.
All right, let's go. Who?
I was watching Beast Games.
Oh, yeah,
on-
Mr. Beast.
On Amazon. And so, yes, Mr. Beast, Jimmy Donaldson.
I've never seen him. Like, honestly, I know the games and I know of Mr. Beast, but I couldn't pick him out of a crowd.
He's so popular. His
Yeah.
videos are enormous.
Okay.
But yes, I wanted to know how old he was.
All right. I got my guess down.
All right, what'd you say?
No, hold on. I'm going to change it real quick. Okay, I did this last time. Go.
36.
Oh, man. Okay, I went 35.
Okay.
How old is Mr. Beast? He's probably in his 20s, and he's like 29.
He's 26.
He's 26.
No, did we lose?
Oh,
I just
my
won.
Oh,
word.
come on.
Wow.
Chad, Gavin, we had to be over 8 for Gavin to win. I'm at 11. Betty's at 12. Gavin wins.
My heart's rushing.
Boo.
I started to say 29. If I had said
Wow.
29, I would have won this. I never win this game. All right, so Mr. Beast is only 26. Tippy Hedren was 95, and then you have to put that with the actual age of the person that I had done in the first segment. Add those together, you
Wow.
can win a prize right now.
Well done, Gavin.
855-33-WAY-FM. I cannot believe you won that. 855-33-WAY-FM.
Why are we wasting our time with these old people anyway?
You just call me old.
Uplifting WAY-FM. This is The Wally Show. Kimberly, welcome to Famous Ages, where you have heard the ages of the actual ages of Mr. Beast, Tippy Hedren, and Matt Walsh that we put up and tried to stump each other with. Now, you have to tell us what are their actual ages if you added them all up.
Okay, if I added them all up, I came up with 159.
Betty Rock, is she right?
She is absolutely right. Way
Nicely
to go,
done.
Kimberly.
I was so surprised by Mr. Beast being in his 20s. I went back and forth on my number. If I had picked my first number, I would have won the game, but I always second-guess myself in this game. Was there anyone that surprised you, Kimberly, at their age?
Well, the only one that I knew was Mr. Beast. I didn't know the other two.
Okay, that's
Wow.
good to know, because we like to find out how old you are by guessing, and you did not know Tippy Hedren, because she's ancient, and Betty Rock picks old people. But Betty Rock is an old soul, and I would say, Kimberly, you sound a little older, but if you didn't know the other ones and you knew Mr. Beast, I'm going to say that she's younger.
But Kimberly is an older name. But
this
then
is
again,
tough.
she might have been named after a grandmother.
Yeah, and please forgive Betty Rock for saying you sound old.
I didn't say that.
Are you sure?
You said that.
Somebody said it, not important
Oh, my
who.
word.
So I'm going to say that Kimberly is 31.
Oh, I thought 32.
All right, Kimberly, who's closer?
Wow, the Lord is really using you guys to make my day. I'm actually 56.
Oh my gosh, you're ancient! Betty Rock, stop that.
You're 56, Wally.
Oh, I know, and I'm ancient.
Kimberly, how is it that you don't know who Tippy Hedren or Matt Walsh is, but you know who Mr. Beast is?
Because I work for a nonprofit, and we've done some work with Mr. Beast.
Well, that's pretty great, Kimberly. I love that. You're keeping yourself young by knowing the youngsters. And you're also winning a prize today because you won our game. So thanks for playing Famous Ages with us.
Thank you, thank you.
I came here in a time machine that you invented. Great Scott! Now I need your help to get back in time.
Uplifting WAY-FM, this is The Wally Show. It's Friday, which means we are in our time machine, barely, because we have Jamie is our pilot today. We almost didn't have her because of a scheduling conflict that was, I forget whose fault it was. It wasn't Jamie's.
It doesn't matter.
It wasn't
It
mine.
doesn't matter.
Who's the only other person? Betty Rock!
Okay, listen, she's in Eastern Standard Time. We're in Central.
You're
I got
in a time
confused.
machine!
Yeah, okay.
You should be able to fix
Hindsight's
it.
2020. You yelling me isn't going to fix it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Jamie, I'm just
I'm
thrilled
sorry,
that you're here.
Jamie, that we had to raise our voices in front of you.
Mommy and Daddy do this a lot when we drive, okay? So, Jamie, you're going to take us back in time musically with a song. What do you want to go back in time to hear?
I want would like to go back and hear Casting Crowns East to West.
Okay, now Betty Rock, what are we setting the time machine for?
2007.
Oh, wow, that's a ways back. I didn't.
Right?
That song doesn't feel that old to me.
Oh, it doesn't? It
No.
does to me. Now, back in 2007, that was when we started seeing those Google Street cars because they started doing the Google Street View. Now you can look up a street and it'll show you what people are doing out in their yard or whatever, what a house looks like. That's when we started seeing it.
So with all the technology, still need people. Haven't let the robots take over yet. So why'd you want to hear East to West, Jamie?
So back in 2007, my grandfather had just died, and he was my best friend. And so his sickness leading up to his death and then his death it resulted in a pretty bad depression on my behalf. And in that depression, I lost sight of faith and truth. And I got this mixed up idea that his death was God punishing me for my sins. So one day, I was driving in my car, and all of a sudden, my car radio just spazzed out. There were weird sounds coming out of the radio. The station wasn't working. So I just started pressing buttons, trying to get something to play. And all of a sudden, Casting Crowns East to West started playing, and the words just hit me like a ton of bricks of love. And I started sobbing, and I had to pull over. And it was like God just met me where I was in this depression, and he surrounded me with just grace and forgiveness that I cannot explain the physical feeling of. And it just today fills me with so much hope to hear that song.
Well, I love your story, and I love that you're in a better headspace now. I bet Mark Hall wishes he had a time machine so he could go back in time and rename East to West to Tons of Bricks of Love. I think it has a nice ring to it. So we're going to play it. That's how this works. We're going all the way back to 2007 for Jamie. It's Tons of Bricks of Love, or in parentheses known as East to West, by Casting Crowns on The Wally Show on Way FM.
Thank you so much.
Here I am, Lord, and I'm drowning in your sea of forgetfulness.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.
Uplifting Way FM. This is The Rock Report with Betty Rock.
These days, people are losing weight not at the gym or eating less, but using Ozempic or medications like Ozempic. Amy Schumer, she's an actress and comedian. She recently opened up about her journey with Ozempic. She said that she lost 30 pounds while on Ozempic, which 30 pounds is nothing to laugh at. That's really good. The problem is that while some using Ozempic have no side effects, she had all the side effects.
Oh, no.
She said she was bedridden the whole time. She had no energy, extreme nausea. She has a little son, and she was like, I couldn't play with him because I just felt terrible the whole time. So at that point, when you're bedridden, you can't even get your head off the pillow. What's the point in the 30 pounds that you lost?
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much you lost. Like, oh boy, I look great in bed waiting here to do nothing.
Right.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. So anyways, she's off Ozempic. She did say, too, that it may not be the case for you if you're thinking about going on Ozempic. She does carry some type of gene that's called a GDF15. Okay. And it makes her extremely prone to nausea.
You get nauseous too, and you hate it. It's a horrible feeling.
Yes. All I want to do is just lay down.
Yeah.
But I'm not on Ozempic.
Right? Yeah. If you were on Ozempic, we would lose you. You would just be a twig. Yeah. I know people that are on it that have had none of the side effects. And then I know other people that it definitely hit them a little harder, but it seemed to go away for them too. Because for some people, man, it's a godsend. It's a great choice to get out of some bad habits, and it jump started. I know one guy that was on it. It jump started him. He lost 30 or 40. I think it was 40 pounds, and then he kind of plateaued. But he had made the life changes as well. He didn't just rely on the drug, and so he stopped taking it and just kept in his lifestyle changes, and he didn't undo what the drug helped him do. And I think that is an overall big win, because I don't know that being on Ozempic the rest of your life is the best plan.
Yeah, probably. I think Amy Schumer, though, is probably missing the opportunity of being that voice on the end of Ozempic commercials where she's like, Ozempic could be good for you, but it might leave you bedridden, unable to live your life.
She should do all of the disclaimers at the end for them because she had them all. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. And the other day I heard Gavin talking about birthdays and celebrity birthdays, and that's something that I just don't even remotely think about. It's not on my radar, but you had a friend that it really was.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't, it's not something that I care wholeheartedly about, but we have some friends in town who are massive Dolly Parton fans. They go to Dollywood 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah.
And then Dolly recently had a birthday. And I saw them, they made her a literal cake for her birthday.
Really?
And celebrated at their house. They made her a cake to say, hey, happy birthday, Dolly.
That's funny.
A cake. I do think it's fun. They have 2 young girls. I see that being like a fun thing to do with your kids.
Sure.
For someone that you think is really cool. And she's worth, celebrating with a cake.
My wife just hit me up the other day. She's like, hey, do you want me to get 2 tickets to see the Dolly Parton musical?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's going to Broadway, I guess, but they do pre-shows. They're doing one at Belmont in Tennessee. And my wife got us opening weekend tickets for that.
No way.
Yeah, and I'm going to make a cake. And I'm going to.
You should.
I was like, fine, I'll go.
That's awesome.
I hope it'll be great. But Betty, I'm curious. You love yourself one Mr. Elvis Presley. Did you ever commemorate his birthday when you were younger?
I commemorate it here at the station. I'm surprised you don't remember.
I can't remember it.
I would put little Hershey Kisses inside people's mailboxes.
That's right, you
and
did.
it said on it, Happy Birthday, Elvis.
That's right.
And whatever age he was turning at the time. And then I also celebrated his death day
that's
as
a little
well.
sadder.
And celebrate
What'd you
is
give us
not
for
the
that?
word. I would nothing. I wore black and asked everyone else to do the same. I don't think I was asking much, but obviously you didn't participate.
Yeah, no, because I don't get into these things. But I love that people are passionate about stuff. I don't care what it is. Good, you're passionate about it. I am curious, have you ever celebrated something of a celebrity, whether it was their birthday, their death day, or some achievement that they had? I would just love to know the why. Why are you so into that person, and what is it that you get that makes you feel connected to them? 855-33-WAY-FM. I will reserve all judgment. I won't call you weird or anything like that. So
you already did with me.
That's totally different. But not for people that are calling. 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. We'll take yours now. So who is that for you, Colleen?
I am a big Elvis fan. My whole family is. We celebrate every year his birthday with ice cream and cake. And it just happens to be the same day as my husband's birthday.
Have you ever told your husband that you're not celebrating his birthday, but Elvis's?
No.
Whose birthday is more important, your husband or Elvis?
If he's listening, I'm going to say my husband.
There you go. There
Nice.
you go. Very smart on your part, but we know, Colleen. We all know. If you ever can't get through on the show, because not everybody can, Betty Rocky will usually post this stuff on her Facebook page, too. Just search Wally Show on Facebook if you want to chime in.
Yeah, Scott, I asked this question there, and he answered. I guess I should have been more specific when I said celebrity, because Scott said we usually celebrate Betty Rock's birthday with nachos and tacos. And that's because my birthday falls on Cinco de Mayo.
That's right.
And so Mexican holiday, he said, we celebrate Betty Rock's birthday. And then Taylor chimed in. She said, if Mexican food celebrates Betty, I celebrate her often.
Yeah, there you go. I think that we used to do a thing called Cinco de Betty on the show, because I used to be meaner to Betty, I would play pranks on her all year long, and so it was her one time to get even with me, and we did everything. She broke my knuckle once with a piñata stick. She's tased me.
Accidentally.
Dog shock collar.
Allegedly.
Waxed me. Bug zapper to the tongue. I mean, and she keeps going, why can't we do Cinco de Betty anymore? And I'm
people love it.
Oh, they do, but there's nowhere else to take it short of killing me. No.
Well, I could think of other options.
Not that are good for me. I think that one ran its course, so I will never celebrate Betty with Cinco de Betty ever again. Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show, and we are coming up on Sport Drive next week. but we're kind of doing a little pre-thing here to prime the pump and get ready and hopefully have a big pre-support drive so that will help ensure success of said support drive, because we don't exist without people that support this ministry, whether it's a monthly gift or a single gift. It's like people that support Netflix. You could call them donors or subscribers or whatever you want to call them. It's people that keep Netflix going. And it's the same thing here. We have a group of people that choose to make this part of their giving plan, and they say, hey, this is important. I believe in it. And so we've had some people that are like, we want to do our part and challenge other people to get involved ahead of time. And so they put up a really sizable challenge.
Yeah, the sizable challenge of $20,000, which is huge. Wow. So if we could get 80 people doing that monthly gift of $20 a month or that single gift of $250, we could get your $20,000 plus this person's $20,000 and add $40,000 before support drive even begins, which is so awesome for your listener-supported Way FM.
And I love it. We've already had people taking advantage of this. We're working our way through it faster than I had thought we would, so I'm super happy.
Yeah, Yvonne was one of the people who kind of jumped in to help with this early challenge. She gave $1,000.
What? She joined the 1K club?
Massive. It's the first time she's new to giving. And I love what she said. She said, Way is part of my morning's God time. We are known by the company that we keep, and Way FM is some great company.
Love
Betty,
that.
Gavin, and yes, even Wally is good company.
Okay, even Wally. That's fine. I'll take it. I'll take it. You know what? She's doing the Lord's work there, and I love it. So if you want to get involved, if you love what happens here every day, maybe it's part of your morning routine, or you're like, kids, we're not listening to anything else but this, and you didn't even know that it exists because of people like you that listen, keep it supported, maybe you choose to get involved with us in that way, and especially before support drive even begins, to give us that head start. So thank you for listening, and thank you for even considering getting involved and helping right now. If you want to do it, just text the word GIVE to 91979. That's GIVE to 91979. We'll send you a link, or if you're at wayfm.com, you can simply give safely and quickly that way as well.
Well, that's the end, but it doesn't have to be. Check out our Aftercast. It's new stuff you didn't hear in the podcast. Be sure to rate us on iTunes as well as connect with us on social media. Just search Wally Show. And if you'd like to join our Facebook group made exclusively for you potties, the link is in the description of this podcast. Thanks to Colorado Christian University Online for supporting what we do.